So I come from Lebanon. Right. So Lebanon is located in the Middle East. It's one of the Levantine countries. So it is an Arabic-speaking country that where individuals are also either bilingual or multilingual, because at school language of instruction is either French or English, depending on the school and the program that the students are enrolled in. So the capital of Lebanon is Beirut.
It's one of those countries I've always wanted to visit, actually. It looks beautiful when I see pictures of it. So
it is indeed, yeah.
Can you tell me what your job is, please?
Yeah, so I'm a licensed educational psychologist, and I'm also a doctorate researcher at the University of Reading, where I'm currently researching language acquisition in multilingual children and language assessment in multilingual children. So what I do is I mainly work with children and their parents, children who have either neurodevelopmental disorders or developmental delays or any type of behavioral challenges as well. And I support them through their journey of identification, intervention, up till helping them adjust to schools as well.
And how does this manifest in multilingual or bilingual children? Does it manifest differently from how it might in monolingual children?
Right, definitely. So what's tricky about the identification of language-related impairments in multilingual children is that because they speak multiple languages, the tests or the tools that we use in order to assess these children need to also be suitable linguistically and culturally, so that they can pick up on differences or they can pick up on delays in these children. And so another one of the challenges that we come across is that the administrator, for example, of those tests also need to be bilingual or multilingual so that they can understand the answers and try to score accurately the tests that are being administered. So yes, there are many layers of complexities there.
And do they have to be multilingual in the same languages that the people you're testing are multilingual?
Yes, absolutely. So say a child, for example, is bilingual, they speak Arabic and English fluently, and they are presenting for an evaluation. Let's say they're being tested for dyslexia or tested for a language impairment. Then the administrator needs to also be proficient in both languages in order to be able to capture the true level or the true abilities of the child without introducing any bias to the assessment itself.
Sure. Now, you said something that really interested me. You said that these tests need to be linguistically appropriate, so bilingual, multilingually appropriate, but also culturally. Can you say what you might mean by that?
Yes, sure. So what I mean by culturally is that the test items need to be familiar to the students who are taking the test. So for example, if I'm administering a picture naming test and I'm assessing expressive vocabulary, then I also expect that the picture items in that test are familiar to the students who have to name them. Otherwise, I can't really tell whether the results of the test are the result of challenges in language, or it is because the child is not exposed or not familiar to those test items. So this is what we mean by culturally. And the same thing would apply if, for example, I'm administering a test of reading. So if the passage is discussing a topic that is not relevant culturally to the child, then the child may not show interest or may not be motivated to read that passage. And so consequently, their performance on the test is going to be impacted somehow.
Brilliant. And just finally, can you tell me about Lebanon? Is there a lot of awareness in Lebanon of dyslexia and of developmental language delay? Or and yes, the kind of awareness there is it what's the social attitudes towards that?
Right. So there is a lot of awareness actually to learning challenges and language challenges in Lebanon. Most of the universities, the top universities in Lebanon, provide programs such as undergraduate programs and graduate programs that train students in the evaluation, the intervention, and how to support students who might present with learning challenges. So there are a lot of professionals who are very well equipped, lots of clinicians who also sometimes travel abroad, get their credentials, and then come back to practice in Lebanon. So there's a lot of awareness when it comes to that. However, similarly to almost anywhere in the world, it is still regarded as something that is not really just favorable, or not something that parents, for example, would be really encouraged to check for. So usually the referral would come from schools, for example. So if a child is struggling, then the frontliners at school, who are the teachers, will pick up on a certain difficulty and will inform the parents to get an evaluation done or to check whether their child might have a certain learning disorder. Otherwise, parents usually are not the ones who would refer their children for such services, because it is still regarded as something that we would not really like to see in our children.